dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
I'm here with Thomas from Talkin Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talkin Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490.
AL certain number 21014.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says because try losing one of those little games, and if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Welcome back in. We're hanging out, and the 2-liter is back. The Dr. Pepper 2-liter is back.
Don't have a lot in the fridge right now. I had to grab something.
Oh my goodness! For those,
the hot honey chicken sandwich about 5 o'clock yesterday.
So yesterday I was perusing through the grocery store.
Right.
And I found something. I almost bought it.
What was it?
To bring it in here. This is not how I was actually going to start everything, but this is how we're going to start everything.
We know this is not rehearsed.
It's not. I was going to bring up the NFL trade, and we'll get to that because that happened.
First of all, I got to say one thing. How the Blue Blazers does Jerry Jones not know the agent for Micah Parsons, who just happens to be the agent for the guy he's going to trade for?
We're going to get to that here in just a minute, but I thought of you yesterday because it was food and it was us and everything.
Yeah.
M&M's has a flavor out right now.
What is it?
Peanut butter and jelly.
What? I've had the peanut butter ones. I actually like them several times, but peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly M&M's. I saw them yesterday at the store. I nearly bought a small bag, to bring them in here this morning for us to sample, but I passed.
I may have to try them just to see what they taste like.
Peanut butter and jelly M&Ms.
That's interesting.
Anyway, I saw them at the store yesterday, and I was like, I was tempted, very tempted to buy a bag of them. But anyway,
and you're talking about just one of these small
bags. Small bags. Yeah, it was there. Yeah, small bag. Peanut butter and jelly M&Ms.
I actually had some peanut M&Ms yesterday, but I mean,
peanut M&Ms you cannot go wrong with. Yeah, those are classic.
Those are classics. And
peanut butter and jelly M&Ms, don't know.
Jelly. Are they jelly filled?
I think instead of having like that thin layer of chocolate, I think it's peanut butter M&Ms with a thin layer of jelly.
Blackberry?
I doubt it.
I just wondered. I don't know.
I doubt it.
Just gonna ask, and like I said, man, that I was hearing all afternoon after the yesterday show. You never know which shows you're gonna hit it with people, and hot honey chicken. Tell you what, man. And
did that? But you had the hot honey cheesesteak. Extra hot honey cheesesteak.
I gotta emphasize, it says extra for a reason.
Anyway,
I mean, good Lord.
We get you going this morning. There is a trade in the NFL. It should all be finalized by this afternoon.
And I'm not even a Cowboys fan.
Okay, so the Pittsburgh Steelers, it does come with a caveat. Remember, they did get DK Metcalf back in March as a wide receiver.
Paid him a bunch of money.
George Pickens' contract, his rookie contract, by the way, was getting ready to expire at the end of this coming season. The Steelers did not get a deal done with him. We're not going to get a deal done with George Pickens, the Alabama native.
Hoover High School.
And he was going to obviously walk away. Steelers were like, we got to get something. So they trade him to the Dallas Cowboys this morning. And they're going to trade him for a bunch of draft picks. The trade is expected to include a third-round pick and other pick swaps. Now, this will be finalized later today, according to Adam Schefter and the guys at ESPN. You don't like it.
Look, Pickens to me has always been more about potential than production. And he was a national champion at Georgia, but he really only had 1 year at Georgia that was considered good. I don't think he's in the class of all the ride-outs at Alabama. Okay, I just really don't. And he's a good player. And I guess they need somebody to complement CeeDee Lamb. They've never really been able to find that dude for a potential several years. They've been, they've had the Brandon Crookses of the world and and guys like that. But I guess, that Jerry really likes Pickens. Yet he says he doesn't know his agent, who's Micah Parsons' agent.
Right. And now you're sending him to an organization, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
That is first-year coach Brian Schottenheimer taking over that offense.
Yeah.
Taking over that team. Might kind of scare you a little bit with George Pickens, who is not easy to work with, we think.
No, I mean, he's never been easy to work with. So to me, it'll be a boom or bust deal. It may work. Jerry may catch lightning in a bottle, and George may get paid and play well. But I think he's got a lot of TO in him. Now, TO was a Hall of Fame player, but the problem is Pickens has never produced at that level. So, and to me, it's very telling when the Pittsburgh Steelers let someone go. Now, they also let that they didn't want to give Najee Harris another contract. But running back is like that. You get a lot of backs that don't see that big contract. You know what I'm saying? And so they running backs, that's why their shelf life is so small. Like when they get to 30, there's not many Derrick Henrys out there that keep themselves in the kind of shape where they can continue to produce at a Hall of Fame level. Or even he just went into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame this past weekend. I'll give Mark Ingram a shout out. Mark Ingram had a very underrated pro career where he was productive for 10 plus years. I think a lot of it was he avoided major injury, which is tough for running backs.
Yeah, we've got and we'll talk maybe next week. We will get and talk a little bit from that Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, because
Right.
it was a good Hall of Fame. You mentioned Mark Ingram going in. Let's see here. I got to try reaching out to. We need to try getting Keith Butler on the show
went in,
as well. Keith Butler went in.
Heck of a career, high school here at Lee High School, then at Memphis, which was Memphis State when he played.
Right.
He's in the Huntsville Madison County Athletic Hall of Fame. He's now in the Alabama State Hall of Fame. He had a heck of a pro career. Won 2 Super Bowls as a DC with the Pittsburgh Steelers, longtime coach. I think he's officially retired now, but just a great career in football for one Keith Butler, his brother Zachy as well. Just a heck of a football family there. They were a little bit before my time, but you try to soak in everything, and that family is one that you heard a lot about when you were growing up in this area.
All right, 256-576-4977. You want to join the program, feel free to reach out to us. Got you started with that NFL news. Got you started with some peanut butter and jelly M&Ms.
Which is very interesting.
Yes, let's go out to the phone lines. Mark, I believe from Spring Hill, is with us.
Hey,
Good morning, Mark.
Morning, sir.
Hey, morning, guys. How we doing?
Doing good. We're doing good, actually.
We are.
Good. Hey, I was going to mention how many SEC programs are like Alabama in that they didn't lose anyone in the portal?
Nobody. I mean, we talked to Anthony Dasher yesterday.
Yes.
And Georgia did not have any big losses in their mind, but Alabama, at least in the SEC. Now, I'll freely admit that I haven't kept up with the rest of the country in the transfer portal, but hellfire, if you follow Matt Zenitz and Chris Hummer, and we know both of them for 24/7 Sports, and they update it every day.
Yeah.
I think just about everybody lost someone. So that, and LSU basically rebuilt their team through the portal. Now we'll see if the great Brian Kelly, overrated, is going to have a good team this year.
Yeah, I think that's a great testament. Either two things are happening. One, DeBoer has got this team buying in as unity as one, which is, kind of is what you want. In year 2, great things happen normally in year 2 at Alabama. I think Coach Saban took Alabama in year 2 to SEC championship game, lost to Florida and Tebow. But I guess either that or we're paying them really well.
Well, and the interesting thing too is, Mark, and when you look at the history of Alabama football coaches, a lot of times in the third year is the one where the real magic happens too, because Coach Saban, of course, had his undefeated season, his first, and a national championship in 2009. Even Mike DeBose won an SEC championship in 1999. Mike Shula had a year where they nearly won the SEC championship in 2005, and then also when you look at it and you go look back at Wallace Wade, Frank Thomas, it's just kind of interesting in Coach Bryant how the third years for these teams and these programs under these legendary coaches worked out. Dennis Franchione never made it to a third because we all know his history, but his second year was a lot like what you're kind of talking about with maybe could happen for Kalen DeBoer, because if it hadn't been for the probation, Alabama would have been playing for an SEC championship in 2002.
Yeah, and I think they lost. Alabama didn't lose any scholarship players in the portal.
In the spring portal.
Now, it's key saying scholarship players. Now, they may have lost
some
walk-ons and stuff like that, but the key word there is scholarship, and those are the ones that actually matter, as far as the playing goes and the depth of your roster.
Yeah, another thing real quick, I'll let you go because I'm probably going to lose you here. D'Amico Ryans, tell me about his stock in terms of if he were to leave the NFL, if he doesn't do well or what have you, where does he fall? Is he a Division I college coach? And I'll hang up and listen. D'Amico Ryans.
Well, he may not be a college coach. I mean, just keep in mind, He started a 6-year deal back in January of 2023, $28 million to be an NFL coach, an average of $4.6 million for DeMeco Ryan.
Well, and by the way, Jimmy Lay, I'll give him credit. I should have said it too. And the third year for Gene Stallings in '92, which is a national championship season. But when you're talking about DeMeco, he may decide that he is a pro guy. Some decide that his entire really coaching career has been except for briefly, I think during the Dr. Dumbass in 2020, he went to the high school level and helped at his alma mater, which is now Bessemer City, aka Jess Lanier. But he's been in the NFL, and once you're in that brotherhood or fraternity, even if he were to eventually be dismissed, hopefully not. Hopefully, this is Mike Tomlin again. He could be an NFL coach for a long time. Now, I think Mark is implying if Kalen DeBoer didn't work out, could DeMeco Ryans be a candidate at Alabama? Certainly, he could. But you hope Kalen DeBoer is there for the long haul. And Kalen DeBoer, I think, wants to be a college coach. Of course, inevitably, the way it shifts with the national media. When Kalen DeBoer took the job, one of the first rumors I heard was he might be the next coach of the Raiders. So he may be just like when Nick Saban was only supposed to be in Tuscaloosa 2 years and go back to the NFL. We all know how accurate that was. It turned out, but they already started rumors about DeBoer looking at the pros. I think DeBoer's a college coach myself.
I know he screams college.
Yeah, he does. I think so.
He fits the college.
But, and so we'll see. But I do think DeMeco has the look of a long-term NFL coach. I think he has a really good owner and a good young football team with the Houston Texans. I think they've drafted well. Yeah. And I think, as long as, the quarterback position works out long-term with CJ, I think they're going to be good.
I'm glad and I'm glad Mark brought it up because we had it on the docket, but if we can flow right into it, DeMeco Ryans and Bo Jackson. It was announced earlier this week
Cotton Bowl
that both of them will be inducted into the 2025 Cotton Bowl Classic Hall of Fame.
Yeah, boy, I'm getting old, son, because I'm telling you, I can remember like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
the knuckleball kick by Jamie Christensen. And the
that was
Mike
played
Lee.
At the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, it was
not at Jerry's World. That was
13-10. Alabama really stymied a high-powered Texas Tech football team. DeMeco Ryans played one hell of a game, and I'll never forget it.
Right,
Mr. whatever Lou Holtz, the raspy one, said Alabama would give up 70. That's what he said. He said Texas Tech will do whatever they want to do. And as I'll quote, the soon to retire, I'll take that back. Let me reverse what I'm saying here.
Right.
He was channeling his inner Lee Corso, who's about to retire in August. But I will quote the venerable Gene Stallings that Mark already brought up, and also Jimmy Lay. There's a reason he's not coaching.
DeMeco Ryans in that Cotton Bowl game, by the way, you bring up. 7 tackles, 2 unassisted, 2 tackles for a loss for minus 12 yards, and 1.5 sacks in that game. Bo Jackson is going into the Hall of Fame. Now, Auburn was there in 1986. They lost to Texas A&M 36-16 that year.
That was Bo's last game, I think.
But Bo Jackson had 31 carries, 129 yards, and a score, 2 receiving he called in 2 passes for 73 yards and a score.
He actually played in his last game.
Yep, he was the 50th Heisman Trophy winner that year and had a big game for himself and Auburn, but Auburn not able.
Nostalgia, man.
Yeah.
Take me back to the days where they played every game.
Played every game. No question. No question you played.
Hey, dog, I had 2 touchdowns in the spring game. I need a raise. That's where we're at right now.
Well, you want to feel old. These are the rest of the guys going into the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. This will make you feel old.
Right.
Jerome Bettis.
David. Now he's got a son at Notre Dame.
David Cutcliffe.
We know, Coach.
Tony Davis. And then you got Randy.
That's your boy from Iowa State, ain't he?
Yeah, Nebraska.
Look at her. Wait a minute. But there what?
Troy Davis is who you're thinking.
I'm sorry.
Now, Troy Davis would get the ball 700 times and rush for 300 yards in a game.
Dang. 42 carries, 285 yards.
Yeah, Troy Davis.
Touchdown.
That's all. The offense was hand the ball to Troy Davis. And then it would be like
Tony Davis. I'm sorry.
Remember, they would be like, "Oh, he had 2,000 yards this season."
Yeah,
but he had 500 million carries.
Troy, my bad.
Oh, let's see here. Yeah, I tell you what time is it? 7:17. We got to get our first break in of the morning. There it is. Troy Davis. Yep, Troy Davis, running back, Iowa State. In 95 and 96. How about this? In 1996, tell me how many times you'll see running backs have this number.
Oh, Lord.
402 carries.
Wow. You know what? Go back and I think Derrick Henry got close to that.
I mean, in Alabama.
But don't forget, though, he played 15 games, though. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, let's get a break in. When we come back, we'll look at those numbers. It's Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The sound of the organ, the crack of the bat.
It is gone.
The sight of watching the ball go over the wall, and the taste of peanuts and Cracker Jacks. There's nothing like it. It's America's pastime. From the first pitch to the final out, you can hear every game right here on your home for Alabama baseball.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Ford Motor Company. From America, for America. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford with a real quick quiz. Out of all the manufacturers, do you know which auto company employs the most hourly workers in America? Ford. Do you know which company assembles the most vehicles in this country? Ford. That's not just a coincidence. It's a commitment. A 120-year-old commitment to build in America for America. And during this unprecedented moment in automotive history, you stand to benefit big time. Woody Anderson Ford is now offering employee pricing. You pay what we pay. We've got over 190 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Employee pricing can save you thousands off MSRP, and with over 600 Fords for you to choose from, there's a good chance you'll find just exactly what you're looking for. This offer ends May 31st, so hurry in. Woody Anderson Ford.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title, because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal. And we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beams likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
This spring, bloom into savings at Owen Home Appliance Center with a new shipment of scratch and dent items at the Somerville location, like a side-by-side refrigerator with water and ice, just $6.99. Or head to the highly interactive location in Lacey Springs to get the latest in appliance tech. It's garden and grilling season, so you're going to need that 21 cubic foot upright frost-free freezer for just $7.99 at Owen Home Appliance Center. Quality products, quality pricing, quality service only at Owen Home Appliance Center, Somerville and Lacey Springs.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WCZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Oh, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Heather Dinich. Oh, my gosh.
What did she say now?
She's predicting Illinois to be this year's Indiana.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there for you.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, before the break, we were talking about Troy Davis.
Bert Bielema is going to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, Bert Bielema. Bert.
Call him Bert.
Hey, Bert. Anyway, big thanks to Talon Heating and Air. They're helping us get going this morning, getting us all cranked up. TalonHVAC.com, 256-503-4490. Let their talent do some work for you.
Why does it always have to be a Big Ten team, too? Why do you always have to say they're this year's Indiana? Why can't you mention something else? I mean, you know.
I don't know. So what she's saying is the Big Ten is going to put a team out there that really doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs.
Well, that's a good way to phrase it.
And get the crap beat out of them in the first round.
Yeah. Because we all know Indiana and SMU was better than Alabama last year.
Yeah. So that's what she's saying, really, though. I mean, if you want to look at it.
That's when John needs to press his button, and then needs to be Eric Clapton saying cocaine. That's what it should be going on right now.
Heather Dinich on a little cocaine.
Yeah, whatever. Anybody.
Oh, we got it. Let's go out to the phone lines. Let's say hey to Bama Bino.
What's up, Bama Bino?
Hey, guys.
What's going on, bud? How are you?
Can you hear me out there? Don't speak at all. Well, guys, let me preface what I'm saying before everybody says, well, you know, Jalen really is worried about what you think. You got a player that snubs going to the White House, but he goes to the Met Gala with Kathleen Kamala. And, you know, he comes from three states he had something to do with it overwhelmingly. Oklahoma, every county went Trump, every single county. Now, this is not politics, this is football, but look, it's nothing else. You know, the president has said good things about him. He's, trying to honor him. Some good words with the Eagles and, just trying to be a good sport. And I know his income is not based on what I think. I don't follow pro ball that much anymore, but when he makes Fox News, not on the sports side, it's kind of a snub to the people that put him where he's at.
Yeah, and you're referring to Jalen Hurts, who did not go to the White House with the Philadelphia Eagles, skip that. Then that was an April 28th visit, then decided to go with his new wife to the Met Gala the other night and be seen, I guess, I don't know. Did they call it the night's fashion biggest night or whatever? I don't know. I mean, it's a huge event, big event.
And I saw him in the spiffy suit and everything. And that's his decision if he doesn't want to go see the greatest free leader in the world and go with his teammates to the Super Bowl. That's all good. I mean, to me, it says a little bit about him. He's a heck of a player, though, and he did a heck of a job with the Eagles. And again, but he's entitled to his political beliefs. And if he doesn't believe in President Trump, hey, it's all good. But, I'll just say, I applaud for the majority of the Eagles and Jeffrey Lurie and the organization for going to the White House and being honored.
Yeah, it just proves, like I say, it's a free country, and I'm not making a stance that he owes it. But
and I guess
all
he
I'm
did go
saying-
back with Alabama. Well, I don't know if he did or not. They went to the White House. I know during his after the 2017 year, I'd have to go back and check that. I mean,
Right.
because he
he
came
went.
back the
I think
next
I
year.
saw
I
it,
think he
yeah.
did go. So we'll give him
Yeah.
credit for that one.
Yeah, he did.
Give him
But,
credit.
all I'm saying is he's lost a lot of respect from, and I know I'm in the majority, from Bama, Oklahoma, and Texas people. Just for he's got legs, but he kind of probably stops at the shoulders.
But I'll just say this though, too, and this isn't defending Jalen Hurts or defending him or against him or anything like that. But I'm going to say over the last, 8 years, 12 years, maybe, going to the White House after winning national championships or world championships.
It's an honor.
It's lost its feeling a little bit because of the political climate in the country.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean as much anymore.
I mean, I could
back in the 80s, in the early
look at the
90s,
last
going
40
to the
years,
White House
Yeah.
was huge. There was no question whether or not, there was never a doubt on whether who was going, who was not going. It didn't matter who was in the office. You went to the White House because it was a thrill to meet the president. It didn't matter who was in there. Now, it doesn't, for some reason, because of the political climate, we've taken the thrill out of going to the White House.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what the opposition wants. But we
Divisiveness.
found out a lot of it, right? And we found out a lot. Most 99.9% of what was said about Trump is not true. And
They wouldn't lie.
we didn't
Come
have
on.
anybody.
Come on,
We didn't
Bama
have
Bino.
anybody in the White House in the last 4 years anyway. That
Acme Lie Detector would have been one hell of a sponsor.
Yeah. MSNBC is got about 4 viewers, and they're all kin to each other. And so that's all I got to say about that. So he can just ride his horse and make word salads with Kamala in her garbage bag looking dress she had on.
I didn't watch, so I wouldn't. It would have been a waste of my time. But
I didn't watch it either, but
Right.
I saw the garbage bag dress that cost more than most people's mortgage. But
yeah, that's
there was one dude that showed up to the Met Gala wearing a piano on his back.
I'm sure. Ain't no telling. What a gala. What a waste of brain cells.
Yeah, and Kamala had her I'm not supposed to be say this on there. Coke with her, Doug, whatever Imhoff, but she also had a guest that it was. I don't know. I guess it's just so. You could at least show up for something of a national thing. Now that we have a legitimate president, but anyway. God bless y'all.
Thank you, Bama Bino.
Thank you, sir.
All right, it was Andre 3000.
Oh, okay.
Showed up with a whole piano on his back. That's what he wore to the Met Gala.
Mm-hmm.
There he is right there. I got to see, there he is right there wearing a piano on his back.
Lord. Now here's John.
Let me take a look at that. What are you showing?
Yeah.
I got to show you. Okay.
Yeah, you
okay.
gotta show me
I
that.
got to show you too.
we just
See,
put it
look,
up on the
he's
screen.
wearing a whole piano on his back.
Okay. That's very him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess, that is the Met Gala, though. You wear something crazy. The other day, I was shocked you didn't pay.
You said something crazy to a Democratic convention?
Yesterday, Monday, I was like, you said you didn't pay. This, I am not surprised you don't pay attention to the Met Gala. I don't pay attention to it. I knew it was going on.
Right.
But I don't pay attention to it. 7:31. Let's get a break in. We'll get to the college football conversation coming up after these messages.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Pair that with a couple of scattered showers across the Tennessee Valley, and we're talking about a cooler afternoon. Temperatures only climbing into the upper 60s and lower 70s, dropping into the upper 50s, lower 60s as we head into the overnight. We're going to maintain the opportunity for a little bit of rain during that time period. Rain is going to stay in the forecast in some capacity through much of Thursday afternoon. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky, though it does look like we are going to be a little bit warmer. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
But you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
So earlier we were talking about Troy Davis. We were kind of laughing at his carries.
We looked that up.
We looked it up during the break. So Troy Davis in 1996 played
11 games.
11 games, had 402 carries. The year before that, he had 11 carries and 345, or 11 games, 345 carries. The next year, 11 games, 402 carries. So in 2 seasons, he had 747 carries in college football.
But that last year, I added that up. I'm not great at math, but I did it on the damn phone. 36 carries a game. Like, we looked up Derrick Henry's Heisman year when he broke Herschel Walker's record, and he played 15 games. Alabama, of course, going 14-1 being national champions over Clemson. And he averaged 26 carries.
Derrick Henry had 15 games played in 2015, 395 carries for 2,219 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Troy Davis in his last year had 11 games, 402 yards for 2,185 yards. So he played in more games, or he played in less games, more carries, and less yards.
Well,
I told you he got the ball a ton, didn't average a lot of yards per carry.
Yeah.
He only averaged he averaged 5.4 yards per carry.
Though.
Yes. Derrick Henry averaged 5.6.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, Troy Davis is a really good player. And you brought back memories. Dan McCarney.
Iowa State was awful when Dan McCarney got there.
Right.
He gave the ball to Troy Davis for 2 seasons to try to put Iowa State on the map.
Right.
In college football. Troy Davis got Heisman votes for those years.
Yeah.
And that was huge. But after that, I mean, they fell back into irrelevancy, which is no big shame to me. I don't care. But
Campbell's done a good job.
No, Matt Campbell, but Troy Davis goes to the NFL, and he had 3 seasons in the NFL, and I mean, didn't really do much.
I don't remember.
He was broken by the time he got to the NFL. 700 carries in 2 seasons in college football.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Derrick Henry in 3 seasons at Alabama had 602 carries.
Well, Saban was good at that. The 1 year he didn't rotate a ton was 15. But again, the King was a different breed. He was one of those guys that if you just kept feeding him, he would just continue to get stronger and stronger and stronger. So
256-576-4977. You can join the phone lines this morning. That is some college football conversation last night on the Major League Diamond. How about this for you, Braves fans?
Stretching the pitch, swung on, hooked down the left field line. That ought to do it. Verdugo around third. He can just waltz home. And in fact, Marcelo Zuna does walk it off again. Braves win 2-1.
That call, of course, courtesy of the Atlanta Braves radio network. Braves do get it done over the Cincinnati Reds last night at home. They get it done 2-1 in 10 innings. Got to go 10, but they get it done.
Yeah, and I got to give the Crimson Tide of Alabama a shout out on the softball field. They get a huge win over Auburn yesterday in the winter go-home softball tournament with the 3rd game of the day in the opening day over in Athens, Georgia. They beat the Auburn Tigers, and we talked about it yesterday, their only meeting of the year because they didn't play in the regular season. The Tide holds on 3-2. Jocelyn Brisky, a complete game. She strikes out the side in the 7th inning. And then Salyn Hawkins, a great game she had. 2 hits and some highlight reel defense at shortstop for the Mississippi State transfer to the University of Alabama. She's been an outstanding player in her first year for the Tide, gotten better as the year has gone on. Marley Giles stayed hot at the plate as well. Now Alabama gets that rematch with South Carolina tonight at roughly 7 o'clock. We'll see how the weather holds up, and also, of course, the pace of play. But Alabama, I think, if they could get this win and split 4 games with South Carolina, would have a great shot under Coach Murphy to get their 38th victory, be 38-20, and be set up to play Texas A&M in the semifinals. I believe that'd be the semifinals by that point, Scott.
I think it would be because you got to win.
Yeah. Because and then Alabama would, I think it would cement them another shot to, have a chance to host a regional.
Yeah. If you get by South Carolina, then you'll be in the quarters against Texas A&M.
The quarters, my bad.
Because they're playing in the first round.
Yeah.
So
Alabama has to win 5 games.
Yes,
just like the baseball.
So Georgia got a win yesterday over Kentucky. Kentucky, bye-bye.
Well, Jeff's used to that,
Bye-bye.
It was 8-0 too. It was ass whooping.
What was it? NSYNC, bye-bye-bye.
I don't remember. I don't try not to.
Was it NSYNC? Am I right there?
I believe so. It was one of those teen groups back in the day.
Yes, one of the
John
teen
wasn't
groups.
alive, but we all know that.
John was alive for NSYNC.
Barely.
Ole Miss over Missouri in softball. So LSU and Mississippi State will play today. That's your first game. Georgia, Arkansas, your second game. Ole Miss, Florida, your third. And then Alabama, South Carolina, the nightcap. That'll be winners go to the quarters. Alabama will await. If they get by, they will have Texas A&M. Ole Miss and Florida will get Texas. Georgia, Arkansas will get Tennessee. And LSU and Mississippi State will get Oklahoma.
And then the Alabama baseball team really showed a lot of toughness, I thought, after the debacle of an end to the game against Vanderbilt.
It was good to hear my good friend J.D. Byers on that call last night.
Oh, he was on the call.
For Alabama baseball. He did it for the Alabama broadcast.
There you go. He also did it at LSU.
Yeah.
I listened to a little bit of that, but just a great start. Alabama jumped on Troy, got 4 in the first inning. Really nice game. Garrett Staten with multiple extra base hits in the contest. Cade Snell with another multi-hit game, including a home run in the second inning. Justin LeBron with a home run in the first inning. He did go out a little banged up, but I think it was more precautionary. And so the Crimson Tide get a 10-2 win. They used 4 arms, including JT Blackwood from Wallace State and Hartselle, who gave them 3 strong innings, Aiden Finateri as well. They did a nice job bouncing back because that Troy team is really good. They were ranked above Alabama in the national rankings, I think, at 19. They have not lost a weekend series all year, and Alabama sweeps Troy 2-0. Now they give themselves an opportunity with Georgia coming to town, their last home series of the regular season, and then at Florida. If they could go 4-2 in those 6, I still think they could host a regional and put that missed opportunity against Vanderbilt on the road behind them.
So there was high school softball played yesterday, both in Florence and in Sand Mountain for the regionals. Congratulations to the Sparkman Senators. They stamped their ticket with a 6-5 win over Huntsville yesterday. So the Sparkman Senators are going to the state softball tournament. Now Huntsville and Austin will play today at 1:45. The winner of that game will go to the state softball tournament. Scottsboro, they are through. They got by Lawrence County. Boaz then beats Lawrence County in Class 5A. So Boaz is headed to the state softball tournament. Madison Academy, they knock off Winfield, so they are in. Mars Hill Bible then beats Winfield, so Mars Hill Bible will go in 3A. So Madison Academy and Mars Hill Bible are in. Belgreen, they are headed to the state softball tournament. And then we have, let's see here, Pisgah. That was there in Albertville, Sand Mountain. Pisgah in Class 2A. They are headed to the state softball tournament as well. So a lot of stuff, a lot of happenings going on. Don't forget, coming up at 9 a.m. this morning, the state soccer tournament will get underway at John Hunt Park. So if you're perusing the Parkway, and if that was part of your proviso for today, just be careful because there is going to be traffic going in and out of John Hunt Park for the next 4 days for the state soccer tournament. So just be careful.
With Scott being the voice of this for 3 days, on
Wednesday,
tomorrow,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days.
Well, I'm sorry. That's right. I don't really. Sometimes I don't think about Saturday, but you're doing every day.
Gotta do every day.
So, we will definitely on Thursday and Friday have food reports from Scott, as they will. He will be well fed. by the Huntsville Sports Commission.
Yeah, they do. That's the one thing. There's others, but that's the one thing that they do very well.
Right.
I do not go, but they get a lot of great sponsors though from the area. A lot of local restaurants chip in, and they take very good care of everybody that has a hand in doing all this.
And now, dang it, you got this thing going through my head after this morning.
What?
When you let off the show, peanut
butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
peanut butter jelly. Oh, man. Now I've got that in my head. Oh, Lord. Well, and by the way, we're going to have a great show. The rest of this, we got 2 great guests coming up too. This will be our 3rd conversation. The first, of course, was in person over at Spring Garden High School, and those great folks that hosted us in November when Ace Austin signed officially with the University of Alabama. And then we talked with her after the epic 43-point performance against Tim Miller's unbelievable Hazel Green squad. And now we will talk to her about concluding her amazing career at Spring Garden in the next step in the second hour. Also, we'll talk to Denton Johnson, who is now the new head coach at Decatur High School, coming back to North Alabama, coaching the Lady Red Raiders, and about his former pupil, Keyshawn Murphy at Ramsey, now going to be an Auburn Tiger. There you go.
Peanut butter jelly, M&M's, peanut butter jelly, M&M's.
You got to get some from the store. I don't know. I will find them.
I've got to get some more blackberry Dr. Pepper Zero too. I'm digging it.
The blackberry Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Are you?
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat.
With a baseball bat.
I don't. Anyway.
Okay.
If you go to the store, peanut butter jelly M&Ms. I found them yesterday. I should have bought the dumb package and brought it in.
I'll be on the look now. At least you put that in my head there.
I should have brought it in, and then we could have sampled peanut butter jelly M&Ms.
And from our good friend Jimmy Lay, of course. We talked about it already. Westminster going for 3 straight soccer titles. They're playing in 5A, and they're going against the defending state champion Springville later today as well.
Is in the Final Four. So we're down to the semifinals. I know the Grissom Tiger boys. They'll play there later this week. I got to look at the schedule. Game start at 9 today, and I think the last game starts at 7 o'clock tonight.
They can play in the rain in this sport.
They can play in the rain, and if it does get too bad, we can move over to the turf fields. Last year, we played some of the days over the turf fields to stay off the grass, so the grass would be ready for the championship. But anyway, let's get a break in. When we come back, wrap up hour 1.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. And Owens Crossroads, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 326 Sutton Road very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Owens Crossroads.
I'm Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. You know, if you're a contractor installing fences, you need Valley Equipment Rental for augers of all sizes. And if you need a forklift to get those shingles up high on a roof, Valley Equipment has 10K lifts that reach to 56 feet. Valley also has tow-behind lifts that have a working height of 35 to 55 feet as well for power washing those 2-story homes or doing whatever else you need to do. Lifts, forklifts, tow-behind lifts, 35 feet and up. They have your lift at Valley Equipment Rental. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. If any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000, 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
I'm here with Thomas from Talkin Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talkin Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
It all comes back to money.
Visit our store right now at zonedeals.bigdealsmedia.net to take advantage of all the best deals in the Tennessee Valley. Or just go to our website, 977espn.com, and click on the Zone Deals logo to start saving right now.
Now, as to the price.
These deals won't last long, so get yours now. Zone Deals. You'll thank us later.
A man who could easily afford to buy a vowel.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Hi, welcome back. Short time left in hour one. Let's visit the phone lines. Bama Big Rick. What's up, Rick? Dialing in for us this morning. Good morning, Bama Big Rick.
Hey, good morning. Hey, this is a hypothetical here.
Sure.
I lived in Indianapolis about 13, 15, 17 years ago. They used to have one class basketball.
Right.
Okay. How would these teams here with the Spring Garden Star versus Stars of the Past, how would those teams compete against the bigger teams all in one class basketball?
It's funny you asked this question because I told this to Ricky Austin, Ace Austin's father and the head coach. He's won 1,000 games. He's one of the most storied coaches in state history. But I saw a lot of the teams this year in girls basketball. I think I honestly believe that Spring Garden, that group this year, the senior class, they could have won 1 through 6A. I'm not sure about 7A because that involves Bob Jones Lady Patriots, the state champion Hoover Bucks, and all those teams. But
I think Hoover would have been a ginormous challenge.
Yeah, I do think they could compete with them.
Yeah,
but they beat Hazel Green, and so I think they definitely could have beat Park Crossing. After watching Park Crossing, beat Hazel Green in OT. I think Spring Garden, you could.
They'd be one of the 4 best teams overall.
Overall,
they'd be one of the 4 best teams, but I don't know if they could win the whole entire thing.
Yeah, I think they could definitely win 1 through 6A, though. That's how good this group was.
Right, because I lived in Indy when they used to have Eric Gordon on one team, Conley and Olden on one team, and that big guy from North Carolina. I can't remember his name, with the big buzz cut, the 7-footer.
Montross.
Montross was on Lawrence North team. They had 7 NBA players that 1 year in one city. Which is crazy. But anyway, I just thought I'd bring it up, man.
Thank you. Good
comment. Drew, I want to give you a compliment. Now, we may differ on the politics.
Right.
I want to compliment what you did today with Bama. What was his name?
Bama Bino. Right.
Right. You didn't really bash Jalen.
No.
Because you have a right to choose. But
he does.
It's just the way the world is now. And we all going to differ. Have different opinions. Because 20 or 30 of the Eagles did not go.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't the only one. I figured
that.
He
wasn't the only one, but Bama Bino, got all up in his,
Yeah.
It's just the way of the world, man. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
No, it is. And then that was my point, is the fact that,
30 years ago, 20 years ago, you got an invite to the White House, you went. You didn't care. Now it is, if you don't go, you don't, I mean, if you differ, you don't go. If you don't feel like you want to be there, you don't be there. I mean, it's just a different way of thinking right now than what it used to be. Let's see here. Just about done with hour number 1. I was going to mention this real fast, and this is a sad news. It is kind of sad. Brew McCoy, the Tennessee wide receiver, announced that he is retiring from football because of injuries and everything. So he is stepping away from the football field.
He missed so much time during his odyssey with USC, Texas, back to Texas, and then going to Tennessee the last couple of years. He was a really good player for the Vols, but just too many injuries for that young man. But I thought he was a really good football player and played the right way for the Tennessee Vols.
Just about done with hour 1. I will be vacating the seat, and it's been fun. I will be back tomorrow for another hour, and then Friday for another hour. But also, Florida cornerback Dijon Johnson's in a little bit of trouble. Arrested on multiple charges, including third-degree felony possession of a controlled substance. His lawyers are saying that the controlled substance was actually creatine packets.
We've been there before.
So we'll have to see how that one plays out. But anyway, hour 2 got to get underway. Ace Austin, we've paid the phone bill, so she's going to use it. Ace Austin next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Kyle Larson opens as a 4-1 favorite to win the Advent Hill 400 of the Kansas Speedway this week. William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and Denny Hamlin all at 8-1. Christopher Bell, 11-1. Rory McIlroy, 4-1 to win the Truist Championship of the Philadelphia Cricket Club. Colin Morikawa, 14-1. Xander Schauffele, Ludwig Dahlberg, 16-1. Atlanta Braves get an RBI single from Marcell Ozuna in the 10th inning. They beat the Cincinnati Reds 2-1 in walk-off fashion yesterday. Atlanta minus 108 today with Grant Holmes on the mound against Hunter Green minus 112, 8 under at Truist Park. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Welcome back to hour number 2 on this busy Wednesday here on Talkin' Ball on ESPN 97.7 The Zone. I am Drew DeArmond. Scott Tyson now will be on assignment as he has had to step out. The state soccer championships, the city of Huntsville does such a great job. Huntsville Sports Commission, everybody involved and the AHSAA to put on a showcase for these young people. It will start today at 8 a.m. 9 a.m. Pardon me. It's 8 a.m. right now. 9 o'clock tentatively. We'll see what happens with the weather. We hope it holds off for these young folks as the state semifinals will start today, and then the finals will run through Saturday over at John Hunt Park as they have the state soccer championships. But I tell you what, we kind of previewed this in the first hour, and we are going to be honored now to be joined by the first two-time Miss Basketball in the state's history. Now, she's joined us throughout this journey, and we're going to have this special intro here for her as she and her teammates, I think just about every home game, which was so special this year, this was their walkout song. And our good friend Brandon is here, Brandon Pilcher, who's been a big supporter of Spring Garden, big supporter of 97.7 The Zone in this show. He's going to sit in for Scott this second hour, but we are going to have a very special conversation with Ace Austin, who has had a tremendous impact on our state and a career and played. It's so awesome. That wasn't even planned with Bama Big Rick at the end of hour one as he called in to ask how good this Spring Garden ladies team was. And I'll tell everybody this, they were good enough, in my opinion, to win at least 6 classifications this year in ladies basketball. And Brandon, I know you're excited to be here.
Man, I'm really excited to be here, excited to be able to talk to probably my favorite female athlete of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's one of the best female athletes in state history.
Yes.
The last time we caught up with her live here on 97.7 The Zone was after that epic meeting over at Spring Garden where she nearly outscored Hazel Green by herself, 43-46. They win 63-46 over, at that time, the 7-time defending champions Hazel Green Trojans of Tim Miller. Of course, the Lady Trojans went on to reach the Final Four, lost to eventual state champion Park Crossing, had a great run. But then we all know the Spring Garden Lady Panthers finished a three-peat in dominant fashion, and we wanted to catch up with Ace Austin and talk with her right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Ace, it's great to have you. First of all, Brandon Pilcher and Drew DeArmond here with you, but how are you this morning? Have we got you, Ace?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ace. I really appreciate you joining us. I know your schedule's very busy. I want to thank Brian Domelick as well, your trainer, who I know you're still working hard with him. You had an outstanding workout with him last night.
Yes, sir.
Before we hooked up with you. But again, just what a journey I know when we first spoke with you and your father, Ricky, back in November, which seems, that like just 3 weeks ago. That's how fast these seasons go. But I mean, I know it was a very emotional day for you. You signed with the University of Alabama, but you and your teammates talked about finishing the mission. What was it like to finish the way you did and win a state championship for a third straight time with these young ladies?
Oh, yeah. It was very special, but at the same time, it was kind of a relief. It was one of them things where you had a lot of pressure on you, and doing it one time's hard. Doing it 2 times in a row is harder. And doing it 3 times in a row is, hard enough. So that's one of the things where, all eyes are on you. So it's a lot of pressure. So when that final horn sounded, I think everybody finally got to just breathe a little bit. And, it was one of them things where you don't want to let it go by too quick because it's a special moment. But it's we worked hard for it, so we deserved it.
Well, Ace, you got to do something in winning 3 championships on another level that most people don't get to enjoy. You got to do this with a lot of family.
Oh, yes.
And it's with your dad, and we all know who he is. His name will be in the record books forever. And you also, and it's Mother's Day coming up, you got to do this with your mother. And maybe her song isn't sung as loud sometimes. So her being there on that journey, what she does behind the scenes. What she's done for you. If you could tell everybody what your mother meant to you in this run and what it meant to do it with family, what would you want to tell everybody about that?
Yeah. A lot of people don't see what she does because she's kind of the quiet person in this. But one thing for me and my teammates is, she would always come into practice when she would get home, and everybody in that gym would say, "Hey, Coach Dana, how are you?" And that was the very first thing she would say. So if one of us teammates didn't say it to her, we knew it was going to be a bad day. But if she didn't say it to us, we was like, that's a little off. So that's one of them things where she was just always had that good attitude towards us, and we was always just there for each other. But she was our defensive person, and when it was time to go over defense in practice, Dad, he stepped aside, and it was all Mom. But she was one of them. Outside of basketball, she helped me a lot just with being there to encourage me and to just always be there to help me. Because as I usually say, she would always just tell me, go be ace. And that's one of them things that anytime she knew that I was down or in a little slope, she just says, let the game come to you and go be ace. And that's one of the things that I think just helped me the most in my journey. And definitely without her, I wouldn't be here. So I think everybody should know that.
Well, and I'll say this too, because we haven't had you on since the completion of it, but the toughness that you showed and your teammates to pick you up, because you got a special group, because we know the injury you suffered against Winterboro. I was watching the game when it happened on the NFHS network. And then we knew that when you had Eider to play against, who was, and we all felt like, no disrespect to any of your other opponents going forward, but that was probably going to be for the 1A state championship. But talk about going through that and having to overcome it. What was a significant lower leg / ankle injury to be with your teammates? Because I knew being around you and talking to people close to you, your father, that there was pretty much, sans being a broken bone, you were not going to miss the action on the floor.
For sure. That's just how I was raised. I think I was always told just to throw a little dirt on it and move on. So I think that's just, growing up with two brothers, that has a lot to do with it. Anytime you would, jam your finger or do something playing basketball and, behind the house, they was like, quit being a baby, you're fine. So I think that just kept growing on to me. And obviously I was in a lot of pain, but that's one of the things where I'm not going to let that bother me. And no, I don't think many people would have played through it, but then you got to throw in, it's your senior year, and then that's just not in my blood. I've never been the one that's going to back down from anything. It just adds a different challenge in it and makes things more special. But I just did a lot of therapy from when it happened until game day, and I have a picture of my ankle and it was on game day, and it was purple and green. It was rough, but my teammates, they stepped up and they knew that I was going to give it my all. So they knew that they was going to have to do whatever they could.
A lot of people don't see the work that goes in behind what it takes to do what you and your team did. And for little girls that are out there that want to grow up and they want to be good, and maybe they're coming in from 8th grade to high school, can you speak to the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes that you personally put in to try to hone your skills, even with the large amount of talent that you have?
Yes. First, just our practices, we would be in the gym from 1:20 till at least 5:30 every day. And that's whether it's going in the weight room first, running a mile, and then starting practice. And that's what we done. But for me, it was always just the extra hours. The extra hours is what's going to set you aside from everybody else, because you and your teammates, you're all going from 1:20 to 5:30. But the extra hours I put in, just like comparing to anybody else, I think that's just what helps me the most. And everybody's going to go to the gym and shoot, but is everybody going to go up to the gym and shoot 2 times a day or 3 times a day? You can't be the same as everybody else, so you have to be different. And you just got to, hard work pays off, and it's obviously shown for me and many others out there. And, a lot of people were just too lazy, I guess you could say, and don't want to do things. And a lot of people don't want to make mistakes when, they're going hard. But when you make mistakes, that means you're getting better. So that's one thing that I always knew when I was going up there and putting in my extra hours.
And speaking of extra hours, again, I wanted to, and we've asked you a little bit, but I've only gotten to know him the last 2 years, but I know he's been a lot to your journey as far as Brian Domelick in Shooter's Paradise over in Gunnersville. I mean, Dom is a very unique story, a guy that played at Georgia Tech, was best friends, high school teammates with the great Dennis Scott. And I know he's meant a lot to the development of North Alabama basketball and a lot of ladies. And I know you guys just had your first clinic over at Ider High School. What's it been like working with Brian and having and being able to influence and grow the game, both not just for the ladies, but also there's a lot of young people, young boys that look up to you as well with your level of play. What was it like having that clinic and having so many people come out?
Oh yeah, that was actually it was unbelievable because he let me speak. He let me say a few words, and one thing I said is, like, when I go, you're not going to go to many high schools on a Sunday around that time where you're going to have 40 kids come out. I mean, let's just be real. Like, a lot of kids don't want to do that anymore, and that just showed me how much they look up to me because, many kids just want to stay at home, play the video games, and them kids, the young ones all the way up to older ones, they wanted to come out, and that just shows how much, they look up to me, and it was just unbelievable. And Brian, he's helped me so much, not just on the court, but just in life in general, just always being there for me and encouraging me and just telling me how big of a supporter he is of me. And I think that's one important thing. You always that you can have somebody that's going to push you and make you better, but something with him, he's just going to tell you how proud he is of you. And, you still got work to do, but he's changed the game. He's just changed all of girls basketball as well in Alabama. And I'm thankful for him, and I promise you that every other girls basketball player is thankful for him.
Well, if you could impart wisdom to somebody that is coming up and you could look back on your journey and say, there's one thing that I learned that was the biggest lesson I learned from 9 through 12 and all the winning that I did, what would you impart to somebody if you were going to give them one piece of advice?
For me, I think going, when we didn't win state my 8th and 9th grade year, it was one of them things where you kind of felt down about yourself, but then you realize you just got to work a little harder. And I think one advice for me is anything can be done. It just really depends on how much work you put in. And I feel like one thing I would have just done different going through, my 8th, 9th grade year is just, obviously I was in the gym a lot on my own, but, you can always get in there more. And I think that's just one advice is you can never have too much practice. And no matter what it is, going in there and shooting free throws. And I promise you that my ninth grade year, my free throw percentage was not where it needed to be. And that's just one of them things where a lot of people don't just go in the gym and hit 100 free throws at minimum. And that's one thing that just helped my shot growing up is shooting free throws every day, tons of free throws. I feel like that's just one thing of advice that I would give to younger ones growing up who's wanting to make their shot better.
And Asa, what does it say? You guys in your senior class, you beat a really resilient and plucky, brilliant team in the state championship game to win that 1A title. And from what I understand, at that camp you were talking about at Ider, I think she's just a junior, but Hadley Sanderson of Brilliant came to your camp. What kind of respect does that show that she wants to learn from you after competing against you and trying to win a state championship?
Yeah, she was a great player. She really was. And we knew that she was a good player. And she showed it when we played each other, but it does mean a lot seeing people who I play and them look up to me. And sometimes it's one of them things where if I just got beat by somebody, I really wouldn't want to go take a picture and talk to them after the game, but that just shows how much they look up to me and how much they want to learn from me. And it means a lot. And she is a great player, and she's going to do great things in life. But I'm just thankful that people really look up to me not just as a basketball player, but just as a person.
And it speaks a lot for you because I know later today you want to support your teammates because this senior class is so talented. I know, and you could have been playing with them, but you concentrated on volleyball and basketball for obvious reasons. But a lot of your teammates are playing on the Spring Garden Lady softball team. Now, we hope they get to start on time today, but I know you're going to head out to Albertville and watch them as these young ladies try to pull off the trifecta, and that is to win a state championship in the Big Three, which you were a state player of the year and MVP in volleyball, and all your teammates played volleyball and they played basketball, and now they're trying to win a state championship in softball, which would be history making.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to go out and support them. They're my best friends, so nothing better than going watching them. So hopefully they can pull it off. I think they will. So they said that they'll win for me. One of my friends, Maggie, I always text her to hit a home run. So usually that's what happens today.
Lace, as far as what you've had behind you and community means a lot. And in the community you're in, how loved and supported have you, your family, and all your teammates felt throughout all this run? So if you could tell your community how much it means to you, what would you say to them?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I don't have words to tell you how much it means to me. A lot of people always, why are you still in Spring Garden? They don't, Spring Garden's so small. It's not about what you have, because having the support and the family like people that always come out to your games that's enough. That's just enough for me. And that a lot of people don't have that. And we're blessed to have that much support who constantly is behind you and never doubts you. And that's one thing for Spring Garden is we're never going to, when I say it's not just the players, it's everybody that comes and supports Spring Garden, is we're never going to back down from anything. And my whole career, they've been right there by my side. And I definitely wouldn't have asked for anything else. And that is the best community I could have ever been to. And I'm definitely going to miss them, even though I'm not really going to be leaving, but I'm just going to miss, after game talks with every one of them because they're family.
Well, I can attest to this. If anybody questions if they've never been on campus at Spring Garden or been inside that gym and all the history, you can just feel it and look at the banners. It's a special place. It was my first time being there, and it certainly made an impact on me. And watching the journey of you and your teammates to win 3 in a row, which is not easy at all. And I'll say this as well. It was an honor to be a part of it. And I've got to ask you too, because when we interviewed you that day, you were going to sign with Alabama. It was a huge day for Spring Garden, and now that's your next challenge. And I know you love to take challenges head on. I could tell when we met with you, and I know you're really looking forward. I wish you could have played with Sarah Ashley Barker in that group this year. But I know you're looking forward to carrying the torch and continuing to grow women's basketball at Alabama under Christy Curry.
Yes, I sure am. It's gonna. That's big shoes to fill, and it's tough for a freshman. But backing down from a challenge isn't in the Austin blood. No. That's one thing, and I'm just excited, and I'm just glad that I'm coming in with a great coaches and great players. And it would have been great to play with Sarah, but she's gonna do great things in the WNBA, and I'm proud for her. She deserves it. But I'm just excited to get on campus and start a new challenge.
Well, in asking you this question, you had a lot of support from your community, but it would be an understatement to say that you went into some people's communities and y'all whipped them so bad that you took them as a fan afterwards, myself included. What did it feel like to have people that would come from far and wide just to come see your games on a regular basis?
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. It's crazy because I think it was our North End Mountain game at North End Mountain. Their coach came up to Daddy and said, just to let you know, all these fans are just here to watch Ace. And y'all said, we never have this many people. And it was packed.
I was at that game.
And, yeah. And it was just things like that. And it just shows that, Spring Garden girls basketball has just always been a name. It's been a name for years before I even played. And so that's, props to people who played before me. But it just shows how much people just want to watch good basketball. And watching good girls basketball, it's hard to find it. It is hard to find it. So that just shows how much respect people have for just Spring Garden in general.
Well, I can tell you this, we can revisit it in 10 years, but there was probably 600, 700, 800 people at the game against Hazelgreen, but there'll be about 2,500 that'll claim they were there because that. I wish I could have cloned myself. I was doing a Huntsville High Albertville game at that time, couldn't be at both, but certainly got WQSB to announce what the young ladies had done earlier in the evening. But before we let you go, I've got to ask too, we've talked about you. Your next. What is your itinerary now as you join the University of Alabama? What's next going to be next for you, Ace?
Well, I report on May 26th. I move in May 26th. Classes and practice will start the next day. So I only got a few more weeks, and graduation's May 23rd.
No senior trip.
Yeah. Another senior trip, but I'm just soaking in every moment I have.
Well, we know that you certainly are. You've earned it all. And what was it like also? Because I know I talked to your dad right after and yourself after you won the state championship over William, and then you got to represent your state and win the Alabama-Mississippi game. You had a very good game there too. I know he was looking forward to that challenge. What was it like winning that? And then being also named recently the Small School Gatorade National Player of the Year. That is huge for you and Spring Garden.
Yes. Playing in the Alabama-Mississippi game, that's one of them things where, it honestly don't even matter if you play good. You just got to represent your state. And that's just one of them things where we wasn't worried about individual play. It's just Alabama needs to win. And it was just good to be able to represent your state in that. And, being able to get Small School National Player of the Year, it's something that hasn't been done for the state of Alabama. And I was laying in bed. I don't even know what I was doing. And my mom said, "Hey, you just won Small School National Player of the Year." And I said, "What?" I was like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" So it's just I was pretty shocked. But I still haven't let everything sunk in yet for the awards and just me having to leave. But I've been more than blessed, and I'm just thankful that God's gave me this opportunity.
And let me correct myself. It's Max Prep's National Player of the Year, but she did win Gatorade Player of the Year in Alabama as well. And I've got to ask you, being the first two-time Miss Basketball, I saw Doug Bush, your AAU coach. You grew so much in his program. But talk about being the first two-time lady to win that award. That's really a cool honor as well.
Oh, yeah. It was cool. And when they called it out, he just started talking, the guy, and said, "Oh, girl, winning it back-to-back has never happened, but that's about to change." And I just felt everybody's eyes just turn and look at me. And I hate the spotlight on me. But it meant a lot just because I know that there's been tons of great players come through the state of Alabama, such as Sarah Ashley Barker. And, I'm just – honestly, there's not enough words to put into it, but it means a lot because there was tons of other great players there that could have won it. And, some of them will be seniors this upcoming year, so obviously they have their feet in it. Time for them to get one too. But I've just been blessed, honestly, and there's nothing else to say.
Well, we appreciate you very much, and we know you're going to be off to Tuscaloosa in just a few short weeks, about 3 weeks for Ace Austin. As she said, May the 26th, I believe she's going to be 3 days after graduating, from Spring Garden as the most decorated female athlete to ever come out of Spring Garden, and one of them the most decorated ever in the state of Alabama. We appreciate the time. It was an extended segment, but we wanted to spend some time with you. We are honored to have the relationship. We thank you for taking that time. And again, good luck to you at the University of Alabama. We can't wait to carry your games here on 97.7 The Zone, and we appreciate Brandon being here as well. But thank you, Ace, and good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
See you at the field soon.
That'll be, and we're going to go on a break. We had a long segment there. We'll have a flash segment, and then Denton Johnson from the Decatur Red Raiders, formerly of Ramsey High School, outstanding head coach in a new place, will join us here in the second hour of Talking Ball. Stay with us.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today,
256-208-9000. That's 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fired grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes. Have a special event? Elevate your catering with Carrabba's Catering, the perfect way to enjoy large party portions of your favorite hand-prepared dishes for any event. Carrabba's Italian Grill at Parkway Place, Huntsville.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back. So that was Ace Austin. What a great interview that was, and that'll be up on our SoundCloud page later. What a great conversation. We'll get John, our resourceful producer, who wears so many hats here. We'll get him to cut that out, too, and post it to SoundCloud by itself. I know the Spring Garden Network is going to want to listen to that. Those that maybe missed it will want to hear that conversation. We've been very blessed to have a close connection now with Ace and her father, and we appreciate Brandon Pilcher being here. And we're going to pivot. You know, I do themed shows sometimes, and when I was able to procure Ace last night, that my first thought was I need to talk to this next guest because he's going to be a huge part of trying to revive a storied program that won, state championships under longtime coach Mike Smith. He's a Scottsboro native. He's coming now back to North Alabama to take over the Decatur Lady Red Raiders program. He just had a tremendous run as the head coach of the Ramsey Rams, multiple Final Fours, state championship game appearances, Division I student athletes throughout his program. And he and his wife are relocating to Decatur. We're very excited to have them, quote unquote, back home. But it's been an honor to have a relationship with him. Look forward to seeing him this summer because, heck, summer's just right around the corner. Well, it'll be June, and there'll be play dates everywhere. I'm sure he's going to take his Lady Red Raiders around the state this summer as he builds this program. But it's always great to catch up with Denton Johnson, who's taking some time out of a very busy schedule. I know they're in the process of moving if they haven't already, and we appreciate him for taking a few minutes to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Denton, it's great to catch up with you, Coach. How are you, man?
Doing great, Drew. Thank you for having me. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. I know you're on the road, and that's not surprising. We appreciate that. But talk about this move, man. You had a great run at Ramsey High School, had one of the best programs in the state, very, very consistent program in 5A, a contender for the state championship each and every year, and now a new opportunity to revive a program that's got a very proud tradition over at Decatur. Talk about the decision to make that move, Coach.
Yes, sir. Well, just very thankful for Decatur giving me the opportunity. And, it gives us the opportunity to come back, like you said, towards home. And we had a few opportunities at the end of this year. Flirted with one in Georgia, but I didn't want to mess the retirement up. So, Decatur just checked all the boxes. I've had a lot of questions about jumping to the girls' side, but, I just said it like this. If I run a backdoor play for Keyshawn Murphy, he's probably going to dunk the ball. If I run it for Carly Mitchell at Decatur, she's just going to lay it up. Basketball is basketball, but Decatur, it started with the admin, with the conversation, Dr. Douglas, Marvin Cho, and Mr. Mitchell, the administration above me, and their vision just to take the program back where it was, and then the resources they're willing to provide. I mean, it's unreal. I know you've seen it. Decatur's got beautiful facilities.
Yeah, the gym's beautiful, man.
Top-notch resources, and it just gets me back to North Alabama, and where basketball is a passion for many people. And I think Decatur's hungry for some success, and I do my homework before I even look at a job. So it's they have some pieces there to be successful for the next 4 to 5 years for sure, and then we'll see beyond that. But and like you said in the intro, it has a history of success, and then there's the family dynamic. And they taking care of my wife with a good job, and back, like I said, she has family in Huntsville. My mom works at the Huntsville Hospital, so it just checked a lot of boxes, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a great thing too. I mean, it's funny how God works and how things work out, and certainly it'll be a good pivot for you. And again, when I grew up, I was blessed. I got a chance to see Yolanda Watkins, Chandra Fuller, and a lot of those great teams play. And Decatur, became a power not just in the state of Alabama, but really throughout the Southeast. And so there's a lot of potential there. You mentioned the facilities and the commitment. They commit to you financially. I know. Decatur's, that city. Athletics is very important. It's a big rivalry with Austin, and then I know Benjamin Maston, Coach Maston's in the process of trying to turn the boys program back around. So it's a good time to be there, and I know you're excited about the opportunity, and I certainly would be as well. It's one where they want to win, they're committed, and that's the biggest thing when you take a job is their commitment above you, and it sounds like there is. And I know this too. I got to give you a lot of credit because I was over there and saw it. You've spent a lot of time improving those facilities at Ramsey and making it a pristine place to play, and you'll have another one over there at Decatur.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and the memories and the things I take away from Ramsey, it's bittersweet. I passed up a lot of opportunities with my time at Ramsey, but, the kids were phenomenal. They worked hard. That's what you don't know going into another job is do the kids, buy in and work, as hard as the ones you just are leaving. But that's the culture you have to instill from day one, and you hope that they'll buy into it, and I'm sure they will. But yeah, facilities at Ramsey, they don't come easy, man, and we just wanted to give up the kids there the best. I always say this: leave it better than you found it, and that's how I was raised. That's how I was coached growing up, and that's what we're going to plan to do at Decatur. And I think when you show the kids you care regardless and give to them and coach that way, I think that they in turn give you everything. And, so we're going to do that for sure.
Well, Coach, it's Brandon here. I wanted to ask you a question. With the success you've had, you're moving to somewhere new, but it's also somewhat familiar. Installing yourself as a coach is a big deal in setting expectations and letting the players know who you are. So what has been your plan for installing yourself in the community and installing yourself with the team?
Well, relationships is everything, like we know in this thing. I think the kids don't care really probably what I've accomplished. I think that they're, I hadn't had a chance to get there. I have to finish out my year here at Ramsey for the school year. We actually have spring training next week at Decatur, so I'll be up there next week.
Okay.
I've met them. They seem excited. You just have to build relationships, and that just takes time. Trust is going to be a big core word from day one because they've had some coaching turnover there, and it's going to take me earning their trust and vice versa. But I'm a player's coach. I think it's just be authentic, be who you are. Put your style of play in, and don't force feed it. See what they can do as well. See how they adapt to the style of play we want to play. We do have a certain style we'd like to play, but I've always said you can't make a square a circle. So you got to be able to adapt what they can do as well. But I went around your question there a little bit, but back full circle, I just think with inserting myself is just be who I am, be authentic. And it's not just going to be me. It's going to take a lot of people, and I'm going to try to surround them with a lot of good coaches. And you look at the more successful programs, even ours at Ramsey, the whole staff was good.
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
And some of the, like I know connected with Drew up at Huntsville. Look at Coach Schweer's staff. I mean, they have a phenomenal staff. The programs that are more successful, you just got to surround the kids with as many quality people as you can and just give them your all.
Absolutely. We're talking to Denton Johnson, the new head basketball coach of the Decatur Lady Red Raiders, coming off of an outstanding run as the head coach of the Ramsey Rams boys program, but he's coming back home to North Alabama. And as you said, you will be here next week for spring training. How did they handle the kind of the tryout process? I know they had to hire you. Did you have any input with that, or how did they handle the tryouts for the Lady Red Raiders?
So that's going to be included with the
spring training. Okay, I got you.
Training.
I understand.
Yeah, we're having tryouts Monday, and then it'll blend right into spring training.
Well, that makes sense then. And then again, sounds like you're already doing some recon to put the staff together. And have you finalized your summer schedule, Coach? Because I know June is so important for team building, even year to year, and especially now that you're at a new place.
And going in, I already feel like, we always feel like there's not enough hours in the day, and we already feel like we're behind. And, Decatur wanted to contract me out where I could start right away, but unfortunately our house is not going to be ready till June 1st.
Ah, gotcha.
And so it's that kind of deal. But I've been going up there once a week and just taking days and going up there. But June's massive. You'll see us. We're definitely good. I got it so far. UAH, UNA. We're going to Hazel Green, Wallace State. I want them to get familiar with that because that's where the regional is going to be. Then we have some individual scrimmages with Priceville, and I think we were looking at Auburn, but they're renovating Auburn, so they're not taking in as many people this year. So I'm not sure. We're going to add one more play date, but Supreme Courts we go twice, so we'll probably play. I try to play 20 to 25 games during the summer, but I'm huge on strength and conditioning as well. So we're going to, regardless of the play dates and stuff, we're going to live 4 days a week, condition 4 days a week, and And I'm not really into running plays and stuff during the summer. We're more working on skill. We're going to do an hour strength and conditioning, hour of skill, and then put our system in. And then I've gotten to the point where, you know, we got to let them play too. So we're going to play as many games as we can this summer.
Nice. And then I've got to switch gears. I know you were involved with and again, it's about relationships with Keyshawn Murphy, your former player at Ramsey. He had a great year at Mississippi State this year. He had stayed the course, and he became a really key cog in an NCAA tournament team. I thought he was a very consistent player, 11.7 rebounds, and now he's had a chance to enter the transfer portal. He'll be coming back to his home state to play for Bruce Pearl in Auburn, and that'll be almost a completely new roster. But I know you're very excited for him and the opportunity he's got in his final year of eligibility to play for Bruce Pearl.
100%. And that one completely goes back to your first word, is relationships. You know, Keyshawn's very loyal. It was tough for him to even get into the portal, but at the same time, we know he's probably was only utilizing 40% of his true skill set where he was at. But Bruce was they were the second program to offer him behind Bama coming out of high school his sophomore year, and it was Keyshawn and I started having that conversation, and you know, he threw out some ideas, and I was supporting him 100%. There was once he officially hit the portal, you know, good Lord, I was getting calls from everybody about it. But
yeah,
I mean, and then obviously with today's game, NIL comes in play, and you know, it's a little bit of that involved, but it's more so I think with Coach Pearl's energy, his personality, they're going to utilize his full skill set. 80% of his touches will be face-ups, and that's where he thrives. They're going to develop him at that position. Auburn's put the past 6 kids in the trail position in the NBA 6 years in a row, and you know, we don't know if that'll be where Keyshawn lands, but they'll take his game to another level. He was very efficient at 56% from the field this year. They're going to allow him to shoot the 3-ball a lot more and put him in mismatch post-ups and mid-post. And everything right now is at that level is, can you play out of the pick and roll? Can you guard pick and roll? Can you short roll and play out of it? And he can do all of that. And he can do it at an elite level. And they switch 1 through 5, and he's good with that. So he's going to get his ability is going to get showcased times 2 at Auburn. And hopefully that translates to at least going overseas, but I think he'll have a chance to take it as high as he wants to.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're looking forward to the opportunity to have him at Auburn and to see this new roster. And Bruce has done such a great job with his player development there. It's a great opportunity for Keyshawn and his family. It was great to watch him grow at Mississippi State, play for you, of course, and reach the SEC. And now he has a chance to play for one of the best programs in college basketball. But we certainly are looking forward to having you and your wife in our community. And look, I'm glad to hear that house will be ready June the 1st. But we look forward to having you back in the area next week for tryouts and spring training. But we appreciate you joining us this morning for a few minutes as you're going to have take over the helm of the Decatur Lady Red Raiders. We're really looking forward to that, man. And again, I had a feeling your journey might take you back to North Alabama one day, and glad to have you back, Coach, and certainly enjoyed the relationship. And we thank you for taking the time to talk some Lady Red Raiders, some Ramsey Rams, and Keyshawn Murphy. It's been a good conversation. Appreciate you, man.
Matt, I appreciate you, and it's just good to be talking basketball and excited about the future. And, yeah, we're going to bring some excitement to the Red Raider Arena.
Well, we certainly – well, I'll definitely see you in June. I know that. We always cross paths, and we look forward to seeing you. Look forward to watching you build your first team. But thank you, Denton, and have a great rest of your morning. We appreciate the time.
Good day, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
That's Denton Johnson. We're going to go on a break here and wrap up this edition of Talkin' Ball here on this Wednesday.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Pair that with a couple of scattered showers across the Tennessee Valley, and we're talking about a cooler afternoon. Temperatures only climbing into the upper 60s and lower 70s, dropping into the upper 50s, lower 60s as we head into the overnight. We're going to maintain the opportunity for a little bit of rain during that time period. Rain is going to stay in the forecast in some capacity through much of Thursday afternoon. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky, though it does look like we are going to be a little bit warmer. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve. And we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying roll tide and war eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia if you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
And it's Drew DeArmond here. We got Brandon Pilcher in studio of Pilcher's Appraisals. And before you go, Brandon, tell us about Pilcher's Appraisals, man. We gotta let you plug your business.
Well, I morphed into Pilcher's Property Group. I am
there we go.
I'm a property acquisition agent. I buy and sell real estate. I appraise real estate. So if you have a piece of property that you need a value on, if you're in a situation where you've got a division of a will, you've got a divorce, you've got a marriage, you need to move property, I'm licensed in Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee, and I can come out and appraise your property for you. You may want to appeal your property taxes. You may think your tax assessed valuation is too high, and you want to get it independently appraised so that you can appeal your assessment. I'm your guy to call. Give me a call, 706-936-3766.
And you have such great facial recognition. We had Ace Austin on, but we wanted you to talk about and name these other special seniors at Spring Garden that have meant so much to that community before we go today, Brandon.
Well, I'm going to see these Spring Garden Panther girls play softball today, and you've got the two sisters, Layla Ingram and Helena Ingram. Their mom owns the Dairy King Inn Center, and if you've never been there, drive there to eat sometime. I promise you it's worth it. You've got Olivia Law, you've got Lily McCain, who's very dear to my heart. You got Maggie Jarrett and Avery Stewart.
We heard Ace talking about Maggie.
They are very good friends, and Maggie Jarrett got offered to go to Jack State, got a full ride, then turned around right after that and got a full ride to Alabama. So she will be joining Ace at Alabama, and it's a little bit of a storybook ending for the two of those, and really warms the heart to think about it.
Well, it really does. And again, we appreciate Ace Austin for joining us earlier this hour. And of course, Denton Johnson, two outstanding guests. We appreciate you coming in and sitting in, Brandon, and bringing us some nice breakfast. I've had a 2-liter of Diet Dr. Pepper, but I've also got some Bojangles and he gave our resourceful producer, John, who's about to have the Blitz with Joe Hunt coming up. John had a chicken sandwich because John, he's addicted to chicken sandwiches, everybody.
All I eat is chicken sandwiches, and I review them all.
Okay, give us your review.
Fairly. That one was good. I give it a 6-7. Yeah, there you go.
He's doing the
probably better if you put blue plate on it instead of
maybe some lechuga as well.
Yeah. There's John. There is John's review there of the Bojangles chicken sandwich. We love to talk food on this show as well. And as we know, Scott Tyson will be out at John Hunt Park. The state semifinals getting underway for the AHSA Soccer Final Four. He'll do a great job out there and be well fed. We'll have a report tomorrow as we will be bringing you Talking Ball 7 to 9 a.m. Don't forget later today after the Blitz from 9 to 11, Tom Abraham will be on from 12 to 2, and then the drive tonight. I believe they're going to be out at Baumhauer's Victory Grill, Steve Moulton and Wes Neighbors, so please tune in for that. And then don't forget there's going to be a lot of softball action on the SEC Network for the Southeastern Conference. The University of Alabama will have the last game of the day as they will face the South Carolina Lady Gamecocks. They just lost 2 out of 3 in Columbia, but trying to split that for 4 games. And I think if Alabama wins today to go to 38-20 and reach the quarterfinals against Texas A&M, they've got a good shot to host a regional and be in a top 16 national seed once again. So outstanding, action today. And then the University of Alabama baseball, they will be taking on Georgia this weekend in a big series where they're still in contention to host a regional. Auburn may have already locked that up, especially if they finish strong these next 2 weekends. We talked to Brian Matthews earlier this week about that. Butch Thompson's team, outstanding. And so there'll be so much to talk about. Probably going to have Chris Lee on tomorrow to talk about this upcoming slate of SEC baseball, as there's no one better than Southeastern 16 if you want to break down SEC Southeastern Conference baseball, their YouTube channel. And he's also the longtime publisher of Vandy 247, which just joined the 247 Sports Network after 20 plus years with Rivals.com. So Chris is outstanding, and we'll try to catch up with him tomorrow and talk some SEC baseball. And then we're going to also talk high school baseball later this week as well. We want to get Jared Smith back in as Bob Jones is going to be in the state semifinals in 7A, and Madison Academy. David Presley and the boys, we are home of Madison Academy Athletics. They will be also going to Tuscaloosa. Both of them will be. Bob Jones to Tuscaloosa County in the 7A semifinals, and then in the 4A semifinals, Madison Academy to American Christian Academy. So some great action later this week. I want to thank you again, Brandon, for coming in. Great stuff. You did an outstanding job here in studio. First time in our new palatial studios for Brandon, but we will talk to you later. The Blitz coming up, Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Stay with us.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you paint your body, your car, and your dog your school colors? Maybe. But it means more than that. It means your alumni network includes the state, the country, and beyond. It means your school ring doubles as